Hi friends, it's Liz coming at you from South Korea. It's a beautiful day. I have had a pretty nice low-key weekend, mostly staying inside, but we got out for a nice walk last night, me and my husband, and had a really delicious dinner. So today I'm coming at you with my week 20 GLP-1 diary. Um, I saw the doctor on Monday after my trip to the Philippines, and I only lost 1 kilogram approximately this past month, which, like, I was just hanging on to the weight between my period coming early and then eating kind of whatever in the Philippines. Actually, the food in the Philippines didn't seem to agree with me that much. I don't know what was going on with it, but I had a lot of the loose bowel movements like you do sometimes. I can't say that I was eating super greasy food, but I think it was just so vastly different from what my diet has been that it just didn't really agree with me. I actually cut my video short last time because I needed to hurry to the bathroom. TMI, but you know how it is on the GLP-1. When you gotta go, you gotta go, So, I forgot to mention before that I had every intention of working out for that short time we were in the Philippines, because the hotel we were staying at, it's like a 4-star hotel. It's extremely nice, but their fitness center was not. They had like 2 treadmills, 2 ellipticals, none of which seemed operational or could be turned on. There were a couple of weight machines, one that I liked, and then ones that were just definitely sized for men and not a smaller female frame. And then they had like a lot of dumbbells and kettlebells, but like that's just not the way I'm used to working out with doing the circuit training at Curves. Like I thought at least I could get a little cardio in, walk on the treadmill. So we did not at all walk significantly in the Philippines. It was just there was not the infrastructure for that. And I did notice that people in the Philippines are a little bit bigger than people in Korea, especially in the more countryside, rural areas, because they just don't have the infrastructure to support like a more active lifestyle. It seemed like everybody was driving everywhere. So you saw a lot more people shaped like Americans are shaped, which was interesting. But yeah, I couldn't work out like at all while we were there. We were only there for 3 nights, 4 days, so not a big deal. Monday, I was too busy at the hospital getting my blood work done and the bone density scan. I actually don't know if it was a DEXA scan, but it was some kind of bone density scan. And then I did see the doctor on the same day to discuss the results of the test. Like, they do things so fast here, which is so amazing. So the good news is I'm not vitamin deficient. They checked my B12 and my iron, not anemic. My B12 is fine. I have not lost any hair in 5 months. Like I shed anyway. We all do, but I definitely haven't had that telogen effluvium or whatever it is. Have not experienced like big chunks of hair just falling out. So I think my diet has been such that I'm not vitamin deficient. So I'm not experiencing any of that. And the DEXA scan, we didn't get into a lot of detail on that. Again, our appointments are very short, so I'm going to have to ask next time about like visceral fat levels, body fat, lean muscle mass. But she just said, like, you don't have osteoporosis. Your bone density is totally normal. So I was like, all right, cool, thanks. And she asked how it was going on the medication. And I was like, yeah, no, I've only lost 1 kilogram this month. I think it is actually time, finally, after 5 months, 20 weeks, to increase the dose to 5 milligrams. And so she did. She also gave me the option to do like a 2-month prescription. So I got 8 pens at the pharmacy. The pharmacist started speaking to me in Korean, and I just looked at her like, I don't know what you're saying. And she's like, nausea, vomiting. Have you had any of that symptom? I was like, no, mostly constipation and acid reflux in the first 6 weeks on 2.5. But I actually stayed on 2.5 for 5 months, and I lost basically 18 kilograms. Yeah. I've actually lost 40 pounds. Yeah, I'm 40 pounds down now. So fantastic. Like, really good to hit that milestone. Like, yes, I only lost 1 kilogram, about 2.2 pounds this month, but I did hit that 40 pounds down since I started December 8th. So yay, Okay. And that was really my goal for the month of April, was to hit that 40 pounds lost. And I did. And actually, the month of April is not over yet. But tonight, I've decided to do my shot tonight. Like, usually my shot's on Monday, but I decided to do my first shot of 5 milligrams tonight, just so if, like, give my body a little bit of time before I start, like, meals on Monday, to kind of, like, just adjust. Like, I don't know if I'll have any side effects. Like, I remember when I've had that first 2.5 shot, I did get a little nauseous the first day, just because I think I drank too much protein shake. Actually, that was what, like, put me over the edge of, like, ugh. And then, yeah, the acid reflux was pretty consistent for about 5 or 6 weeks. So I know I need to just consume much smaller meals, and that's totally doable. I'm planning to just pretty much eat the same thing: the lentils cooked in bone broth, and vegetables, chicken breast, sweet potato. Like, I'm going to keep that going, but I think I'm just going to be chunking it out into smaller bits. Like, regardless of whether I'm hungry when I get to work, I should probably eat a little bit, at least eat the chicken breast and some of the veggies and lentils, and maybe half of the sweet potato. And then, like, before I start teaching, because I've got like an hour and 40 minutes from the time I get to work to actually starting teaching, I can eat a little bit more of the lentils and the veggies and the sweet potato. And then I can get my 10-minute dinner break and eat a little bit more. And then when I'm on my break in between classes at like 7:15, I can finish the food. So I think if I just kind of, like, gradually eat throughout the day, that should help reduce any major side effects like nausea or acid reflux. But yeah, the pharmacist was very surprised that I'd been on the 2.5 for 5 months, but it's like, it was working. So I just stayed on there. The price did increase. So the original 2.5 milligrams was 330,000 won at my pharmacy, and the 5 milligrams is 410,000 won at my pharmacy. With the exchange rate, the 2.5 milligrams was costing me like between $200 and $220. And so the 5 milligrams is costing like almost $260. So the cost did increase. I don't know if I was expecting it to increase that much. I thought the two lower doses, like, the same price, but they're not. But it's still reasonable since I'm paying in dollars. And I mostly use our travel credit card, so it all adds up to miles. So that's all right. I think it's a reasonable expense, and we can afford our credit card bill while we're here. So it's all right. Little nervous to do the shot. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do it in my stomach or in my thigh tonight? I'm considering the thigh, but then, like, when I do it in my thigh, not all of the medicine goes in. There's always like a bead, a small, like, not even a pea-size amount, like a quarter of a pea-size amount that sits on top of the skin. And I feel like that's kind of like wasting it. I don't seem to have that issue when I inject into my stomach. I think it's just that my thighs are really muscular. So I try to find, like, the juiciest part. Like, I squeeze my thigh and I'm like, where is the juiciest part? But I am just very muscular. But yeah, so as far as some non-scale victories, since I haven't seen a lot of movement on the scale this month, I did notice when we're in the Philippines, like, there's full-length mirrors. Wow, my tummy is actually getting so much smaller. I don't know if it's because I'm exercising and walking so much, but it doesn't really seem like I'm having too much loose skin on my stomach. It just seems like the apron belly is just like shrinking, which is nice. I haven't measured my waist in a little bit, but I should probably do that maybe tomorrow morning. I need to find my tape measure and see where it's at. Last time I checked, I think it was like 34.5 inches. Yeah, something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's smaller than that. My ring feels a lot looser. Again, my watch band wants to go to a smaller setting when I put it on, and all of my pants fit. Like, If it was slightly too tight before, now it fits great. If it was tight before, it's now loose. So I'm probably sitting at around a size 12 in US sizes. I actually have gone into a Korean store at the advice of my friend, and I was pleasantly surprised to see the range of sizes that they have. However, if I'm a large in the US, I'm like a 2X in Korean sizes. But the size is a size is a size. Like, as long as it fits, it doesn't really matter what the label says, right? Right? We have to remember that. Yeah. So things are going well. As far as just in general, like feeling lighter, healthier, yeah, getting stronger. I did my in-body measurement on Friday at Curves, and yeah, I'm only down 1 kilogram, but no big deal. My muscle mass had gone up a little bit from my last measurement, but probably because I'd had a little bit of water before the in-body, so that always helps with the muscle mass measurement, because the electric currents or whatever, like they need water to move through in order to like get an accurate measurement. So yeah, I was happy to see the muscle mass increase on the in-body scan, and I think that's kind of about it. Yeah, it was a lot to go over between all of my test results and the update regarding titration. I've been thinking, like, was it a waste for April to stay on 2.5 milligrams? Like, yes, there's the cost. And yeah, I didn't lose very much. But if I think about it, actually, like, I tried doing injections in my thigh again. I'd had that botched shot that really like impacted me. And I think if I had had that botched shot for my last shot before I started the new month and I'd gone straight to 5 milligrams, I probably would have gotten very ill from the side effects of the medication. So it's actually probably better that I stayed on the 2.5 with that having happened. So when I take my shot tonight, like, I did download the Me Again app. It's all right. Sometimes it just seems really glitchy. I don't know if it's my phone is the issue or the app is the issue, but I find that like it takes a lot of tapping to get it to open up the log, and I'm just like, what the heck? But I tried the Pep app, and to get your levels, you needed to subscribe. I was like, oh, that's like, I want to know my approximate levels of a medication, not behind a paywall. So the Me Again app, that is not behind a paywall. It's got a lot in it, like more than I really need. I'm just using it for tracking the levels of medication in my system. So yeah, I guess when I get home from my walk now, I will do the shot. So that way it's got like, 10, 12 hours before I get up and go to the gym in the morning. Before the gym, I've been eating just like 3 dried prunes, and that seems to be helping quite a lot with things moving and having a bowel movement early in the morning, even if it is shot day. Prunes have been life-changing. I was able to get a big bag of them on coupon. So yeah, I know prunes are a known cure for the constipation, because I didn't necessarily want to take medicine. Like, I know like the Dulcolax or whatever, like that kind of stuff can help, or Miralax, whatever it is. But yeah, I think I would rather eat something that's got some nutrition to it. It's mostly sugar, and fiber. So whatever is in prunes, it definitely has helped me to move my bowels. And then I got back into eating bananas, but we don't have any bananas now. So yeah, I guess tomorrow morning I'll just get up, have some water, have some prunes, go to the gym, come home, make my omelet and have my chia pudding, and then prepare my lunches for the week. Well, the lentils last about 3 days, and so I make them on Monday and I make them on Thursday. My husband started eating them as well. He's actually lost tons of weight in the first 2 months. He's probably, can't remember exactly how much he's lost, but he's either lost 12 or 17 kilograms already. So he's lost almost as much as I did in the first 5 months, but he had a lot more to lose. He's also 6'3", So he's got a much larger frame than I have. So yeah, but he's feeling better. He gets less winded. So we're both getting a lot healthier thanks to these medications. And I don't know if he is going to need to continue taking them for his entire life, because he didn't battle obesity as a child. Like, he was always very long and lanky, and it's just been like stress and lifestyle and not good quality sleep that I think has contributed to his weight gain. And hopefully, as he's on this journey and getting to be feeling better, he can find other things to help him maintain a healthier weight. But I think for me, I'm probably going to be on some kind of GLP-1 for the rest of my life, or as long as I can, because I have always battled overweight and obesity my entire life. There's never been a time, apart from like from the time I entered school, I've always been a little bit of a chunky kid. So I think everybody's different. Everybody's on a different schedule when it comes to titration and long-term use of these medications. So that is me for this week. I should get back onto my walk, and I will see you next time. Leave a comment below if you have any tips about how to get through the scary part of titrating up, going double the dose from 2.5 to 5 milligrams, because I am still a little freaked by that. But oh yeah, that's right. I did ask the doctor about the multi-dose quick pen. When is that coming to Korea? She's like, I surely could not tell you. So then I asked the pharmacist, and she was also like, that's a question for Eli Lilly. So then I had to hunt around and do a Google and find a contact email address for Eli Lilly. It was like speakup@eli.com. Sent my query there. It was like, I'm in South Korea. I want to know when the quick pen, multi-dose quick pen, is coming to South Korea, please. I got like an automatic response saying like, we got your request, we got your message, and we've forwarded it to the appropriate team. And then I got like a more official response back from Eli Lilly Korea. It was in Korean and in English, hooray. And they basically said, it is under internal review. We are mainly focusing on stabilizing supply of the auto pens, the auto injector pens that only have one dose in them. We're stabilizing the supply of that in the country at the moment. And then the quick dose, the release of the multi-dose quick pens is under internal review. So basically, we don't know. But I was like, okay, well, please, I want access. Stop gatekeeping. I want it now, or as soon as possible. But yeah. I also am curious about when GLP-1s like Mounjaro might go generic in South Korea, because I know it just went generic in India and Canada. Or no, Wegovy. Wegovy has gone generic. Semaglutide has gone generic in India and Canada. I think tirzepatide probably has a lot longer to go before it goes generic, but like, I'm kind of counting on, for long-term use, that the cost of the medication will go down. And there's so many more companies working on GLP-1 medicines, including Korean companies. So I think all of that is going to have an impact on price, probably before I get much older. So hopefully the cost is just going to come down. And yeah, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with the whole compounding stuff, because the drama on compound right now in the States is scary. And I can understand people's anxiety about potentially losing access to this medication. So yeah, I'm just grateful to be living in a place with a functional healthcare system. I'm sorry to you Americans out there. South Korea is great. You should come here. It's awesome. All right. Really now, bye.